Welcome back to the Project Gen X podcast. I am one of your hosts, Alan Smith, along with...
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And on this episode, I kind of what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's already gone now. I kind of took Dave by surprise with this one of a, hey, do this thing. And then he's like, really, we're going to record today and you're just now giving me the topics.
Yeah, I had no opportunity to prepare for this at all. And not only that, we're actually in two separate locations at this point. I'm actually up in the Tennessee Shadowlands recording from my house. And Alan's back at home.
This is our first remote episode that we've done, where we're not in the same room. I know we tested one time, just to kind of see if we could do it, but we didn't. We have upgraded equipment to where we now have the ability to do this kind of stuff, so it will make our recording time a lot easier, being able to our schedules to coordinate a little easier. So I have entitled this episode Our Secret Shames. You probably have no idea where that term came from.
No,
okay.
I can't say as I do.
In the mid-2000s, there was a book that was written by Larry Doyle, who used to write on The Simpsons, and it was a YA book. It was called I Love You, Beth Cooper. And one of the main character talks about him and his best friend are talking about at one point about this girl that they run into, and he calls her his secret shame. That it was a girl that he didn't mind hanging out and making out with, but didn't want to be seen in public with her, type thing.
Oh, okay, so, yeah.
Now
where you're going with that.
The was it the All American Rejects had that song, "Dirty Little Secret," back around the same time that that book was released, I'll keep you my dirty little secret, and it's like we all have that. And so it's kind of one of those, I didn't want to call this guilty pleasures because I don't feel guilty about anything that I enjoy, especially in pop culture. I mean, if you've listened to this podcast for long enough, you know that I listen to some crap music, and we will get into a lot of that. So,
you listen to crap music and crap TV, crap movies.
I have a whole list of stuff here. Now, I am going to go ahead and guarantee right now we're gonna wind up fighting about some stuff that I can that I consider my secret shame. That you're going to be like, oh no, don't even no. And who knows, you might actually do the same for me. So. But
okay, so this is going to be you listing off a list of things that you love and me going, that's crap and that's not.
Some of mine, are the where it's, maybe it's a specific artist or maybe a specific song by an artist that maybe I don't like all of their stuff, but I like a certain song or I Love You, Beth Cooper on my list because, it was one of those things that, I was reading that book when I was like in my 30s, my early 30s somewhere. And it was written for, a teen audience. But it was funny because I actually came to that book because of another podcast I listened to at the time that's no longer around that was about comic books. And they were talking about like Scott Pilgrim versus, the Scott Pilgrim books and stuff. And one of them was like, you might consider reading this book because it kind of falls in with some stuff. And it does. They made a movie, I think it was in 2009, that had Hayden Panettiere, who played Beth Cooper in it. And I'll be honest, I didn't really particularly like the casting of her in there. But it was a fairly faithful adaptation of the book. I think that they could have made a much better movie out of it than they did, but we got what we got, So, and yes, I did go to the theater and see it along with about 3 other people in the entire world. So,
ouch. So you're saying it's like an hour and a half of your life you want back?
No, it wasn't terrible. Like I enjoyed it, but it was like I was kind of expecting more, So. It wasn't like, watching that Twilight movie. And I will never get that time back. So
if we're gonna go with that, I have actually watched all of those with my wife.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now here's the thing.
Watching
and honestly, those with your wife is one thing. You sitting down by yourself and watching them because you like them is something completely different.
I'll accept that.
Okay, yeah, that's
and honestly, both times every time that we've had to watch them, it's basically turned into Mystery Science 3000.
Right,
me and Renee making fun of the movies as they're going.
Dude, that first movie is so terrible, and just
I just want to point out as kind of a vampire fan, vampire story fan. Vampires do not sparkle. No, fairies do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that explains a lot.
So, yeah, you go.
And it's one of those things. I know you and I have disagreed on this, but Robert Pattinson has actually done some really good work since then. Where it's
in what,
dude? Okay, look, I did not like Tenet, but he was actually really good in that movie. And
I have no want to even try to watch it.
Yeah, no,
I'm not even bothered.
That movie is not good, but he is actually a standout in that movie. I'm actually looking forward to his Batman to see what happens there. So you never know. There have been plenty of when Michael Keaton was cast as Batman. There were a lot of people who were like, "There's no way." And then he became a beloved Batman, When Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker, people were like, "There's no way. There's no way."
Amazing.
But people were like, "There's no way. There's no way this is gonna." And then look what we got. Joaquin Phoenix as Joker was another one that people were kind of like, I'm like, First off, Joaquin Phoenix is a nut job to begin with, so he's not really having to stretch too far. But it's
no, he's a complete nutcase.
Yeah, but he was amazing in that, and you can go down the line of so many different heroes and villains that people are like, "No, there's no way," and then they turned out to be really great. So do not say Jared Leto. Do not say Jared Leto. Okay.
No, I'm going to catch a lot of hate for this, but I was one of them that said that Ben Affleck was going to totally suck as Batman.
Yeah.
He wasn't great as Batman.
I didn't think he
terrible. Did a pretty good job as Bruce Wayne.
I didn't think he was bad as Batman. I just think that he was just working with really crappy scripts. And
I place the blame for most of the Warner Brother superhero movies directly on the shoulders of Zack Snyder.
Yeah, Zack Snyder is good at what he does, but he's not good at stretching whatsoever to try to do something different. And I really did enjoy his Watchmen movie. I know a lot of people didn't.
No,
but
the Watchmen movie was good. He deviated from the comic,
and I was
which
fine
a lot of
with
people
that.
Were upset about.
I was completely fine with that. And I did that. Yeah, but we're completely off the rails here already. So it's like, do you want to start or do you want me to? All right, I guess I'm probably going to start going down the line here, and then you're going to start like, I've got one. Oh yeah, I've got one. So
let me go ahead and start with the one and only one I come up with off the top of my head.
Okay, what is that?
And I'm gonna have to pull Spotify back up to even remember what the name of the song was.
It was the one you were just showing me.
It was the one I was just showing you. We all know how everybody feels about Nickelback.
Yes, and rightfully so.
Unfortunately, I have one song of theirs that I actually really like, and it's mainly because of the kick drum sound they got on the song, and it's the song "Burn It to the Ground."
Okay.
I don't think it's a overly great song, but I love the kick drum sound off of that song.
Fair enough.
So you will occasionally see me running down the road, and I've got all the windows rolled up so nobody can hear what I'm listening to. Listening to that song.
I know. Hey, believe me, I've got some of those on here too. Did you see the breaking news from earlier about Nickelback?
I saw that post.
Nickelback threatens to release new album unless Spotify removes Joe Rogan from.
It's a good way to get themselves canceled again.
So yeah, that's all right. Since we're going to start with the band, because I've got a lot more bands or artists than anybody else. My first one, and I have said this so many times, I have said this is one of my biggest guilty pleasures, and I mean that as in I feel guilty for listening to this band every time that I do, and it's a little bit dirty, which I guess maybe makes me like it a little bit, and that's Limp Bizkit. They just
okay. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. As much as I would like to, I can't really disagree with that.
They are one of those bands that, like, Fred Durst is such a tool, and just oh my God, but it's just kind of one of those things where that was a line of demarcation with Gen X and millennials in a lot of ways. Like, there was some bleed over, but that is most definitely the first quote unquote millennial band that broke big. Them and maybe Korn, but Korn really did.
I love Korn.
Korn was a little more Gen X but Limp Bizkit was definitely that next, like, oh, here it is, and then the next generation grabbed onto it, and it's just kind of one of those things where you're like, oh God, this is what happens when the bad guys win. So it's
I make no apologies for liking Korn.
Yeah,
I've got several.
But I'm talking about
albums.
Limp Bizkit, just and it's just kind of one of those where you're just like, oh man, I do not want to like this. I do not want to like this. Why do I like this?
I have some of those albums, and I keep them hidden where nobody can see it.
I will maintain. My favorite Limp Bizkit song is "Life in the Fast Lane," and that song, like, I know every lyric to it. And yes, when I'm rolling down the street and that hits my as a playlist, I am full on Fred Durst. I mean, just
I'm not overly surprised by that.
So it's funny
because you've got a little Fred Durst.
It's really funny because, like, I remember one time when I was with my son's mom, and we'd been married maybe, I don't know, we'd been married a couple months or something, and it was in one of those situations where I had control of the car radio, and that song came on, and her, like, turning and just looking at me and sitting there for like the full 3 minutes of that song, and just like watching me going, I cannot believe you like these guys. It's like, I know, I feel the same way. And she looks at me again. She goes, have you ever dressed like Fred Durst for Halloween? And I was like, screw you. Okay. This is, I get it.
It's okay to admit it.
I get it.
We know that
short.
You've done it.
I get it. I'm short. I've got, I'm bald. I've got facial hair. We all look alike. I get it. You throw a pair of khakis and a red oversized T-shirt and a backwards ball cap, and I can maybe pass for the dude. Okay, so it's
well, he's not even doing that anymore. He's let his hair grow out into some kind of weird haircut, and wearing Hawaiian flowered shirts.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was funny because I actually they played at Lollapalooza this last year, and that entire set is on YouTube. And I watched about half of it, and I was just like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
Because you like them.
But I was still sitting there going like, dude, that guy's like in his 50s now, and he's still a tool bag. So,
it's too
anyway, yeah, so I'm just going to run down
go ahead.
more of my... And I know you're.
I don't have a whole lot prepared because you gave me no notice.
You'll wind up picking up a few of your own, I'm sure. My next one on the list is Key $, and do you know what I'm talking about?
Keisha.
yeah. Kesha, yeah.
It took me a minute, yeah.
Again, that goes back to when I was married to my ex-wife, and she watched Glee, and the principal always kept pronouncing her name like that. It was like, Key $. It's like, Kesha. Oh, okay.
Nashville's own little hip-hop white trash queen.
Yeah, pretty much. And I fully admit her music it's just pop trash, and I kind of love it for that. Because especially that first album that she put out. Yes, I'm getting ready to defend her first album because I'm just like, oh, look, this is quite literally like if this is the album that Britney Spears would have put out if she didn't have handlers that kept her in line.
Yeah.
Where it's all about partying and having sex with all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, oh, okay, so she kind of wants to be a legit rock star, but she's trapped in this pop bubble. And so she's rebelling the only way she knows how to. So it's
well, honestly, I think most of that first album was recorded at the high school recording studio.
I have no idea.
You know,
it's Hillsboro. Yeah,
you know what high school?
Well,
yeah.
did she go to Hillsboro or did she go to? I thought she went to Franklin.
It was either Hillsboro.
She went to Franklin.
Was it Hillsboro or was it Hillwood? I forget.
I don't know. I thought she went to Franklin. I don't know. It's funny because I actually know people.
In Hillsboro, the one in
Green Hills,
the studio.
Yeah, they have a recording studio. But no, that album was recorded in L.A.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because she had done the what was the guy's name? Where she had recorded vocals. She had moved back to L.A. and she had recorded vocals on that. What was the hip hop artist? You get my head right round when you go down, when you go. You remember? And she did the vocals on that. I can't remember who it was now. It wasn't. I can't believe I'm losing all credibility here. But anyways, yeah, she had recorded that, and then she also appeared in like the Katy Perry video for "I Kissed a Girl." Before anybody knew who she was, and that was kind of her thing where like she was friends with Katy Perry, and so she wound up in a couple of videos, and then she did like guest spots on a couple of other people's albums, singing the hook and everything, and then her album came out and all of its white trash glory, so and it really is.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, I know we're going to have because this is a new one for me, okay? I have maintained for the vast majority of my life of knowing this group that they were just terrible. Like, no redeeming qualities to their music or anything whatsoever. And just recently, I've kind of had this epiphany of like, hey, you know what, these guys, I kind of like them. I don't want
the Beatles.
I
want to throw stuff at you.
I don't want the whole world to know, although I'm putting this out on a podcast now. Like, you're not going to catch me at a light singing one of their songs, but don't be surprised if, you caught me at a light singing one of their songs with nobody else in the car, the windows rolled up.
Okay. Who is it? Let me hear your embarrassment.
Hall & Oates.
What is wrong with Hall & Oates?
Oh, really? Do we really need to go into that? So it's, yeah.
Come on.
No.
There is nothing wrong with Hall & Oates. That is they are a couple of great songwriters, good performers. Mm-hmm. Songs have got a decent hook. There's nothing wrong with Hall & Oates.
Yeah, just not good. But for some reason, I like a lot of their songs. So
one of my favorite things to do is to go over and watch Daryl's House on YouTube.
Yeah, I've never watched a full episode of that. I've caught bits and pieces of it. The different acts that have been on there. And,
it's a great show. I really enjoy it.
So, but yeah, Hall & Oates is just one of those bands, those groups that for years I just like. No, I don't care what anybody says. They are terrible. I don't blah, blah, blah. But it's just been here recently where I'm like, yeah, they're not great, but I kind of dig.
I would buy tickets to go see those guys today.
Well, that's you, so it's. I would not. So I do have a line on that one. So
I guess I don't have any guilty pleasures. I just openly own all of my bad choices.
I said this is my secret shames. This is not guilty pleasures. These are secret shames. Like I don't want.
Okay.
It's speaking of which, my next one is Ashley Simpson.
Yeah, you should be ashamed of that one. You should totally be ashamed of that one.
Ashley Simpson, when they were trying to make her a thing back in 2004, she had a reality show on MTV about when they were recording that album and everything, and I watched every episode of it, and I bought the album when it came out, and I still say that
you spent good hard-earned money on that album. Are you kidding me?
And it's yeah, I still. Yeah, I'm
enjoying this episode. I just get to sit here and make fun of you.
Very much, if I'm flipping through, or if I'm going through my iPod and it's like, Pieces of Me comes on, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm singing along, so it's yeah.
No.
So, okay, this
is fun for me.
I know you're enjoying.
You tell me this stuff you like, and I just get to make fun of you.
This is more of just a confessional of all the crap that I love that everybody else is just like, oh my God, I don't necessarily like this guy's music as a whole, but he has one song in particular that I will fight anyone over until with my last breath, and that's the song "Mandy" by Barry Manilow.
I'll give you a pass.
And what's funny is that that song has been like, it's made its way into several things that I do love. Like, that was like, if you ever watched Angel, you remember that was like one of his favorite songs, and he would like, and it played several times throughout that show. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes did an amazing cover of that song.
I like that one.
On their first album.
I like that one.
Yeah. And then it wound up as like, as like a plot point in the movie Can't Hardly Wait. And I thought which was really funny, which is, goes into some other we'll get to later of stuff that I love that everybody else is kind of like, But yeah, it's just so funny. And of course, it's also one of those things that goes back to like my mom was a huge Barry Manilow fan when I was a kid. So I've heard all of his music, and it's just kind of, that was the one that stuck with me, over the years. So, yeah, I even did it on my
I just don't really care.
Yeah.
I just really don't care for Barry Manilow.
I'm not a big fan of his. I never really have. I don't like a whole lot. Like, if I never hear Copacabana again in my life, or pretty much any of his stuff. I know he did. What was it? I Write the Songs, and all that stuff. I'm just like, no. So,
now, if Neil Diamond comes on, I'm probably
Neil Diamond is not.
Off.
That is something completely different. I love Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond is amazing. So that is, and there is no shame in that one whatsoever. So
yeah,
that's one. Is seriously, we will fight over that.
I'll claim Neil. You can have Barry.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm sure this one's going to get some people. Billy Joel.
What's wrong with Billy Joel?
Oh man, Billy Joel is so not good.
Other than he's a, big jerk to his fellow musicians that he'll hire a band, use it for a little bit, and then just fire them.
Billy Joel is one of those artists that like, I look back over my life and again has been there. What are you drinking? You hit.
Werner's ginger ale.
From here, it looks like you're drinking White Claw. So it's
no, absolutely not. This is
I have
Werner's.
I have all kinds of White Claw memes for you. So.
No, that's not White Claw. That is Werner's ginger ale.
I saw one of the greatest memes about White Claw earlier today when I was on our Instagram. It was the Scooby-Doo meme. And it was like a White Claw, and it had Fred pulling its mask off, and it was Zima.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Billy Joel. So Billy Joel is one of those artists that, like, had a big, like, he already had a career. You go back to, the 70s, that's when you have, like, with his, Piano Man and, and a bunch of that stuff. But you have to remember that, like,
Allentown and all those,
he had a huge bump in his popularity when the Innocent Man album came out in 1984. Yeah. And, that's the one that had Tell Her About, because Tell Her About It was a huge song. And, of course, that one has, The Longest Time and Keeping the Faith.
Yeah.
And, that was one of them that was on our list of albums that went 5 deep, because, there's many singles that were released off of that album. And it's one of those things that since, I was 10-ish years old and I was less than a year into my pop and rock, like basically schooling, it was one of those things where all of that stuff like got in there, and I was like, "Oh, Billy Joel's so cool." And then as I got older, I'm like, "Billy Joel's really not that good." Just like it was.
Oh,
kind
come
of
on!
one
He's
of
a
those,
great
like,
songwriter. He's a decent performer.
He's an all right songwriter, but it's just
now he just looks like Darth Vader without the helmet on.
But there's something about him that, as I got older and started listening to those songs again, I was just like, this guy's not cool at all. And it's like if my dad sat down at a piano and started playing songs, and like, I don't want to hear that. I mean, it was just kind of one of those things where it's very like boomer music is basically what it comes down to. And just like, no, I can't. But he does have a couple of songs that I really love. But again, if I never hear Piano Man again in my life, it would be too soon.
And you just burn out on it. It's a decent song.
There is a lot of that. It's been forced down my throat for so many years. A lot of that stuff, and I'm just like, no. So yeah, but Billy Joel is like, so there's a handful of songs of his that if they come on, I'm like, oh yeah, but then I'm like, why did I do that? Because now I'm just like feeding that boomer ego. So
so it's more about your dislike of the boomers.
Yeah,
than
pretty
it is
much,
the actual
pretty
music.
much.
Okay.
And no, Neil Young's not on here, even though he probably should be with all the crap he pulled this week. But that's you gotta love that.
Well, I think a lot of people were. Yeah. I think a lot of people were actually surprised to find out that Neil Young was still alive.
I know. You saw that meme, right?
No, I'm not sure. I did.
If you're under 30, it said if you're under 30, it said, who's Neil Young? It said if you're 31 to 60, it was like, Neil Young's still alive, and it's like if you're 61 or older, it's like, what's Spotify?
That's a good one.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like some Neil Young stuff, but yeah, anyway. So, okay, my next one. Yeah. This is a group of, like, actually it's more of a genre of music than it is any one.
Okay.
Boy bands.
What?
Boy bands.
Oh yeah, nobody likes the boy bands.
I like boy bands. Give me some NSYNC, give me some Backstreet, give me some New Kids on the Block. Give me some.
Get Out.
Give me some. But you also got to think. Give me some New Edition. Give me some Jackson 5. I mean that there is a line there from one to the next to the next. Even going back to the Temptations and the Four Tops and that kind of stuff. And
whoa, hold up.
Yeah,
Temptations were not a boy band; they were a musical group.
Well, the Beatles started off as a quote unquote boy band. That's
they were a rock band.
Yeah, well, come on.
No,
let's be honest.
No.
How do we talk about the early Beatles? We talk about the boy band Beatles. Okay, I mean that is the. They had the archetypes.
When we're talking about boy bands, you listed off.
They had the archetypes
when you say boy bands. Beatles, Four Tops, Temptations, all of those do not qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Do not qualify.
And here is my real secret shame. Of course, none of these are secret any longer. But my real secret shame from that is the song by 98 Degrees, "The Hardest Thing." That is like. I know I should be ashamed for liking that song. And
are you looking for ways to like make me not want to hang out with you anymore?
Whatever.
Is that what this is?
Whatever. The only difference between me and you at this point is that you're not fessing up to yours. So.
Well, when you give me like 15 minutes notice to put together an episode.
All right. So the next one that goes along with the boy bands is Britney Spears. I do like a good chunk of Britney Spears music. Now, some of it is absolute crap, but
everybody already knew that.
Yeah, so
everybody already knows about your love for Christina Aguilera.
I don't consider her a shame because that girl can sing. I'm sorry.
Well, you should.
And she's hot on top of it all. So she was always my favorite out of that. As I told a friend of mine not long ago when we were talking about the difference between Britney and Christina, I was like, Brittany would just lay there. Christina would change your world. So,
oh, good grief!
So,
I still question my sanity about doing this show with you sometimes.
So
move along.
My next one is Kanye West.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to agree with that
Kanye
one.
West is one of those people that I do not want to like whatsoever. And I have not, from the very beginning, I'm like, no, this dude is a raging douchebag. I don't want anything to do with him or his stupid music. And then he goes and puts out some really good music, and I'm like, damn it, why do you have to go and do that? It's like,
especially
why
that
won't
early
you just
stuff he put
let
out.
me hate you, okay? It's
Yeah, especially the early stuff he put out.
you know, and I've always had a love-hate relationship with Kanye West of like, dude, just go away, nobody likes you, go away. And then he'll put out an album, I'm like, son of a bitch, this is why people like you.
That
It's
song
like,
that song he did with Jamie Foxx, I mean, if
Gold
it comes
Digger.
on, I admit I'll turn it up.
Runaway is a great song. I mean, and Jesus Walks. I mean, you can go down the line of all stuff he's done, but it's just like, oh my God, you know. I'll tell you, the only thing of his that I didn't really like, that I haven't really liked, was his gospel album. I just didn't find anything on there, and it's not because of the subject matter. It's just like I didn't think it was his best work, you know. So, all right. When you talk about Kanye, you got to talk about Taylor Swift. I'm going to say something really controversial here.
I doubt that. Because everything you say is pretty controversial.
Even I'm like, I can't believe I'm saying this. It's like, I'm a bigger fan of her earlier stuff.
What?
I like teenage Taylor Swift writing teenage songs better than I liked 30-something.
And singing them off key.
Yeah, better than I like 30-something auto-tuned Taylor Swift singing about quote-unquote serious stuff. You know, it's like...
I don't see how anybody still dates her at this point, because they know you're going to end up a breakup song.
Look, as someone who has had an album written about them, that is... It's
wait,
not,
what?
You knew about this.
Whoa, hold up. No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You had a breakup album written about you?
Oh, yeah. But it's one of those things where it sounds funny until you're sitting watching the band play and all your friends are like looking at you laughing, you know, and it's just like, oh God. So yeah, it's.
I'm not sure I knew this about you.
I think you did. We're not going to get into it.
And if I did, I had forgotten about it.
We're not going to get into it here. So
I'm going to have to hear this story at some point.
Well, not on the podcast.
Ooh, this is still a sore point.
No, it's funny now because it's been a long time, but it's just still one of those things where it's like, yeah, oh yeah, you know who it was. See?
I just realized. Oh, I didn't know.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes, I know you're familiar with their music too, so it's
All right, I'll allow you to move on. I'll bring this up at a more embarrassing point in your life.
Oh, God, no. I have a copy of that album around here somewhere. I probably should revisit it just to make sure that it's as bad as I remember. This one might be a little controversial as well, because every time that I say something about this artist, everybody's like, but he's such a great guitar player. I mean, it's John Mayer. John Mayer has 2 songs that I like, really like. I could care less about anything that he's done on the guitar. I get it. He's a decent guitar player or whatever, but that does not make up for everything else, you know? But he's kind of one of those musicians that I could take or leave. Right, but I really do love that song, Your Body is a Wonderland. And,
I hate that song.
Yeah, and see that's one of those songs that most people like, even the hardcore like Mayer fans are like, oh no, screw that song, And I'm just like, no, I kind of like it. It's
I hate that song. The two that I kind of like was that first single he put out.
and
then
the real was it No Such Thing.
I forget.
No Such Thing is the name of it. Yeah, there's no
the
such
other
thing
one
as
has
a real
something
world.
to do about he's driving back to his apartment and he just
know that one.
keeps driving. That's a good
I liked
one.
Heartbreak Warfare, but that one goes into the with what I said about the Cranberries' Dreams of being like one of the best U2 songs they never wrote. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
So
You're not wrong about it.
All right. So LFO, Summer Girls.
What?
You know the song. Summer
You
Girls.
broke up a minute. Sorry. Oh, Summer Girls
by LFO. I like girls
Yeah.
that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. I take her if I have one wish. You know that song? Yeah. It's a horrible song, but it's just catchy and I really like it for whatever reason. Oh, it is. It is, And all the pop culture references and everything. So it's just, I know it's terrible. Okay. I know it's terrible. That's what this whole episode's about. Terrible things that I love, apparently. So
Yes, it is. And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I don't really care about any of the other stuff. I really do like that song.
After what you did to me the last episode, I'm enjoying this episode.
One word. Share.
Cher's kind of one of those take it or leave it type deals.
I love me some Cher, and you're going to be hard pressed to find very many straight guys to say that line. But I absolutely love me some Cher, and
Yeah.
And
it doesn't. That's not something that surprises me that you like Cher.
I absolutely love Cher. So.
You were thinking about getting her tattoos at one point.
No, I was not going to get those tattoos. I've told the Halloween story about driving for Lyft, and it's okay. This is my last musical one, and I do not like this artist. I never have, and since now that we know he's an absolute piece of shit, I really hate him even more. But for some reason, I absolutely love Ignition Remix by R. Kelly.
Are you kidding me?
I love that song. I there's just something about that song that I'm like, yep, turn it up, here we go. And I'm singing along in the car and everything. It's like, I know R. Kelly is a terrible, terrible, terrible person. And I've never liked his music. I've always thought his music was just laughable. And that song is pretty laughable in and of itself. But again, it's got a good beat
and probably
to it.
written about a 12-year-old.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Okay, he put that song out right after the first big allegations came out about him back in 2003 or whatever it was. Is like, this is the absolute wrong song to put out right now. Where it's like, seriously, this is the wrong song to put out, and he did it, and it's just like, wow. All right, so, but again, it's that whole, it's a remix to Ignition. I'm just like, I'm singing along and bouncing the seat, and just like, all right.
And the person in the car next to you is probably thinking you're a pedophile. Look at that guy over there singing that pedophile song.
Well, so.
I think I finally thought of another one.
Okay, go ahead, because I'm done with music now.
I like Dwight Yoakam.
There is nothing shameful about Dwight Yoakam whatsoever.
It's a little embarrassing.
There is
I really
nothing
like Dwight Yoakam.
Shameful about Dwight Yoakam whatsoever. We will fight. Next time you are over here, we're going to throw down. That's all it is to it.
Okay.
That is,
especially that album, This Time.
This Time.
I really like. Yeah, it's the one that had. I think it was Train to Nowhere.
1,000 Miles to Nowhere.
Let me see here.
Oh,
Pocket of a Clown, 1,000 Miles from Nowhere,
Ain't
Home
That
for
Lonely
Sale.
Yet.
This Time.
That's a great album.
That's a great album.
That is, it's got Ain't That Lonely Yet is on there, and that's a great album. He has got a solid
or cassette tape.
Yeah. I see you got the cassette. He has got a solid.
And
It's got the blue. Yeah, there you go.
It's got the blue. Yeah. I just happen to have it laying over here.
I can't believe you would even think that would be shameful, like Dwight Yoakam. Yeah. He just did 3 nights at the Opry or at the Ryman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I wanted to go so bad. And those tickets sold out immediately. I was like,
oh yeah.
He is on my list that I put together a few years ago of like these are the acts I want to see before they're not around any longer, basically. And
did you see this? We kind of talked about it on our episode with Barry, the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones.
Yeah, that just happened. Yeah,
they announced this week that they're breaking up as a band.
Yep, I saw that.
I'm fairly upset about that.
I'm fairly indifferent towards it, so it's.
Yeah, well,
they were never my thing. I mean, it's just I was never big into the ska stuff. So I've seen them in concert before.
I've seen them 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and they were high energy, a lot of fun, but they just they're kind of one of those bands that like, and I'm not comparing these two bands directly here, but they're kind of like 311. Okay, my first
I like 311.
My first experience with 311, anything that I ever heard them was I saw them in concert, and this was right before they hit big, like when they actually like when Down came out, and all that stuff. But it was one of those things where it was like I saw them in concert because some friends were like, "Hey, come on and go with us." I'm like, "All right." And I had just broken up with my girlfriend. I'm like, "All right, fine, we'll go." I had no prior knowledge of them, experience of their music or any of that kind of stuff. And I was just like, dude, these guys are awesome because they were so good live. Yeah. But then later when I picked up that album, that blue album, whatever, I think it's just called 311, I can't remember. And I was like, I don't like this. Like, this is something completely different. Boss Tones are kind of like that. I don't like their recorded stuff so much. I have seen them live. They're really good live. That's it.
Oh, they're really good live. And honestly, everything that came... Like when they finally did that song for, what was that Alicia Silverstone
Clueless
movie?
Yeah,
Clueless. Yeah, that album was not a great album.
Yeah,
and it wasn't really the same after that.
Yeah,
it was like the studio had gotten a hold of them and cleaned them up a little bit.
Sometimes, have you ever heard the studio version of "I Want You to Want Me" by Cheap Trick? Because usually what you hear on the radio is live from Budokan.
Absolutely.
If you ever hear the studio version of it, it's like, this sucks. I mean, it takes all the life out of that song. I mean, all the life out of the song. Hold on just a second, okay? And we're back. Sorry, I had to take care of something. Somebody came to the door, so... Had to go take care of somebody.
He's getting visitors.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen around here very often. So, in this
That's a good way to get shot.
As they say, in this neighborhood, if somebody comes to the door, like rings the doorbell, I'm like, "Who are you and why are you here?" So it's.
Yeah, if they ring the doorbell, you're going to get the gun.
Yeah, well, the dogs also start going crazy. So, anyways, where were we? We were talking about something. I don't remember.
It was music.
Yeah, I think we were talking about the Boss Stones or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the Boss Stones had quit playing. They've broken up as a band.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Tom Brady just announced his retirement.
Right now?
Yeah, it just came across.
Breaking news.
Breaking
Woo-hoo.
news. There you go. By the time this goes live, it'll be 2 days, too late. But I saw speaking of that, I saw a really interesting graphic the other day that said the last 18 Super Bowls. Okay, the last, not counting this year's, but for the last 18 Super Bowls have all had either Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, or the San Francisco 49ers play in it.
Well, that explains my interest in the Super Bowl dropping
Yeah,
off.
I know. But it was like one of those things, I started going back, I was like, that's actually really true. And, and there's a good chance that this year we might get the 49ers in it again, So, believe me, all my teams let me down this year, okay?
Yeah.
All of them. Alabama lost the national championship. The Dallas Cowboys looked terrible in their one-and-done playoff game.
That doesn't surprise us.
Yeah, whatever. And then the Titans, lost and they're one and done this year. I'm like, wow, everybody let me down in 2022. So,
well, my football team is actually caught in Groundhog's Day because they've hired a new general manager and a new head coach.
Did they fire their coach or no?
Yeah,
they did. They fired Nagy. Okay. So
they had to go and hire a brand new general manager and a brand new head coach.
Well, you can look and see that neither one of them have done that well. So I mean, it's
no.
And I think that we're in football talk now. What's his name? The quarterback you guys drafted this year, the Ohio State guy. You know what I'm talking about. I think he's going to be a good quarterback eventually, but he needs a coach that knows how to bring a young quarterback along. And
Jay Cutler could have been a good quarterback.
Jay Cutler.
I mean, we watched what he did here at Vanderbilt when he was in college.
We watched what he did his first couple seasons in Denver until what's his name took over and then gutted that team.
And he did that. And he did that first 2 years at Denver with undiagnosed type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, I know.
And then he got healthy, and then they didn't know what to do with him at Chicago. Chicago did him dirty. I'm going to call out my own team and that city. They did Cutler wrong.
At one point, he was throwing to Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon. What was the guy's name? Brandon. Because they played together at Denver also. Was it Brandon Jones? Is that what his name was? And he also had what was the tight end's name? They had another top 10. It was a top 10 receiving tight end. I was like, if you've got a receiving core like that, why aren't you throwing the ball more? And they didn't.
No offensive line.
And they didn't have an offensive line. You're right. And that's anyway. We could get into that. Maybe after the Super Bowl we can fix what's wrong with football. So we'll have an episode where we just fix everything that's wrong in football.
Well, first off, we get rid of Roger Goodell.
I agree wholeheartedly on that one. So okay, so that's we kind of gotten out of music here. I have, of course, this is where I Love You, Beth Cooper, because, is that, but I love those teen comedies. You know how I am with that stuff. All that, Clueless, like you said earlier, and, American Pie, and, I mean, I Can't Hardly Wait, and,
okay, you just named
stuff.
Some of my secret shames.
Yeah, those are all, She's All That, and, all of that, those crap movies. I've seen Bring It On more times than I want to admit.
I don't think I've seen that movie. Please, Alan, tell us what that movie's about.
Oh my God! So I have two stories about that movie that are just, oh man. So when that movie was Bring It On. It's the Kirsten Dunst and Elijah Dushku and their cheerleaders. It's that whole.
It's a cheerleader movie, is it?
Yeah. And so the day that it released, that it came out in the movies, Brody and I went to a matinee to go see it. And we're in our...
Oh, it's a cheerleading movie that you went to go see with another dude on top of it.
We walked in and there weren't a whole lot of people in there, but it was three groups of all of these teenage girls with their moms.
Let me ask you this. Were you guys listening to R. Kelly on the way to the movie theater?
And these two mid-20-something guys come walking in and sit down and watch this movie.
Now, did you sit together, or did you leave that seat in between you?
We did the seat in between, but it was still one of those at one point right before the movie started, I was like, so do you think they're going to call the cops on us?
And did they?
No, it was at Rivergate, the Rivergate 8. They weren't going to do anything.
Oh.
There. And the other movie about that is you fast forward a decade or so, and Maeve and I were living together at the time, and my friend Matt had moved in here for a little bit after he'd moved back from Texas. And we're sitting there. It's in the afternoon, and we're flipping through the channels, and it's like, oh, Bring It On's on. And it was kind of one of those things where we were kind of making fun of the movie. The three of us were sitting there making fun of the movie. And then for like a good 15 minutes, everything was silent. And Matt and I both at the same time had the realization of, we're actually engrossed in this movie right now. Because we just both looked at each other and just started laughing. It was just like, I cannot believe this. So yeah, that's that's one of those. It's kind of like when Andy and I went to go see Loser, and we're sitting, because it was one of those things. They kind of build that movie as a like kind of like an American Pie type, like that raunchy comedy or whatever. And we're about 45 minutes into that movie, and all of a sudden both of us looked at each other and got up and moved a seat away from each other. Just like, it's like, oh crap, we're at a date movie.
Yep. So you have a habit of going to see.
We went there under false pretense, though. That was
I will
give that
you.
one. So.
I don't believe you. It sounded to me like you two went to go see a date movie together.
Well, we wound up at a date movie together, yeah. But it's so anyway. I just have that broad teen comedies out there, and even now, every once in a while, there's one that comes through, that I'm like, oh yeah, that was a lot of fun, I don't feel shameful on this one, but I know you think that I should. You and Barry both think that I should, as well as everybody else that I sell this to. But the OC, I absolutely love that show. Okay, and I just finished rewatching it not long ago, and that's still a great show. And I will.
You're absolutely incorrect. You're wrong. The fact that you feel no shame about watching this show and really enjoying it.
I love that show. Like, I will probably do another rewatch of it in the next couple of years. I mean, just as I was really surprised at like, I remember I loved it when it was on the air, and I have not watched it since it went off the air. And then going back and rewatching it, and I was just like, "Wow, this show was." You might as well
just admit that you enjoy watching the Jersey Shore. Also,
I have. I think I've seen. I think I've seen one episode of Jersey Shore, one like total, and that was like when it first came on, and it just like no, believe me, I've got some trash reality stuff on here. Okay, this is my next one, and this is one that's on the air right now. I have quit watching this show multiple times, and I keep coming back to it for some strange reason. It's like an abusive relationship. Okay, it really is. It's like, no, I'm done with this show. Screw this show. And then like a couple months later, I'm like, all right, I'll catch up on what's going on.
What are you watching?
The Connors.
The what?
The Connors, which is the Roseanne spinoff. And and the whole thing is that like initially I was kind of like, because I've always loved Roseanne, okay, and then when they brought it back, I was like, hey, you know what, I'm enjoying this. This feels like Roseanne 20 years later or however long. I was like, okay, and then all the stuff happened, and they fired her from the show, and and all that,
killed off her character,
and that was the whole thing. I wanted to see how they were going to deal with that. And it's like, okay, I get it. Even the revamp of Roseanne was kind of dealing with the kids a little more, because they're all adults now. It's like, I get it. Again, it's that whole Gen X thing. They're around our age, and everything. And I always liked the character of Darlene. I kind of identified with her a little bit. And
Darlene was the only one that was interesting at all.
What's funny though is that Becky's gotten really interesting since then, because it's it's a whole deal. They. Of course, Glenn Quinn that played her husband died almost 20, I guess, over 20 years ago. And so they explained that he had died, in a motorcycle accident. Yeah. And she's just was like full blown alcoholic for ever since then, type stuff, and her trying to get her life back together and, everything. And the thing with the Connors, though, is that I stopped watching it because they could not pull their politics into the show. And I was like, I don't have to watch anything like this, you know? And I mean, it's like, look, even if I agree with some of the politics, it was just so damn preachy, you know, that like, I don't want to see Darlene standing basically looking in the camera at Middle America and telling them how they're terrible people, you know? And I'm just like, hey, you were like spitting in the face of everybody who like liked your show, you know, type stuff.
I watch television and movies to get away from politics and all the other crap that's going on in real life. I want something that's not what's going on right now.
Right.
And the fact that a lot of that has ended up in television and films is part of the reason why I don't watch as much as I used to.
Well, the thing that brought me back, like, because I didn't watch it for a while, was that they brought back... what was her character's name? It was Danielle Harris's character. You know, she was their next door neighbor for a season or so.
Yeah,
you know?
you were telling me.
Yeah,
about
and
this.
they brought her back, and I was like, oh, cool, this is awesome. This is kind of awesome, you know. And like the episode that she was on was really cool, and then they killed her off, like immediately. And I'm like, so basically, you're killing off everybody around because you know they've killed off a few characters on that show. You know, I'm like, what in the world? You know, just.
Well, I mean, they can kill them off because, like Dan, they can just bring them back.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's you know what? I have two big questions about that the revamp. I know in the first episode they kind of addressed the whole Jerry situation. You know, the baby that they had towards the end of their youngest son. In the very first episode, you know, it was one of those things where they're sitting around the table and Roseanne's saying the prayer, you know, before they eat. And she says something about, you know, and watch over our son Jerry, who's on that fishing boat and apparently can't pick up a phone or something. So it's kind of one of those, okay, he doesn't live here. He's gone. He's working elsewhere. And okay. Yeah. But he's never been mentioned again at all through all of this. It's like, but the other one was Andy, which was Jackie's kid that was on multiple seasons of that show. They just completely erased that character completely, like erased the fact that she had been married, that, you know, they basically erased Fred, erased Andy, just like whoa, that is a big, I mean, okay, the way that they explained Dan coming back I could go with, you know, because basically he was saying that was what we saw in the final episode of Roseanne was her writing a book, and that Dan wasn't really dead, but she killed him in the book, basically. You know, she you know, type thing, because he said something about you know, because she fixed up a manuscript. She's like, oh look, here's that book I wrote. He's like, yeah, the worst thing you did was killing off the best character or something like that. So okay, that's how Dan's back. Okay, fine, we can. I'm down with that, but just erasing complete characters like they never existed is just that irritates me when TV shows do stuff like that. So, okay. So here's where we get into the really trashy, like the reality TV stuff that. If I were flipping through the channels today, and VH1 decided they were going to have like a throwback Thursday or whatever, or it's Saturday as we're doing this, and they were running a Flavor of Love marathon, I would sit here the rest of the day watching that thing.
Are you kidding me?
I watched every season of that when it was on the air. Because it was just such a train wreck.
You probably watched every episode of Flav and Bridget too, didn't you?
You talking about Strangelove? Yeah, I watched.
Yeah,
I watched that as well. I didn't watch a lot of the subsequent spinoffs because we had an old episode where we went through all the spinoffs of the Surreal Life and especially through the Flavor of Love branch, you know. But yeah, they're just so trashy and it's such a train wreck. Another one of those, what at the time VH1 was calling Celeb-reality, was the Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
I watched all of those as well, and really feel bad about that now, considering several of the people that were on that show are no longer with us. But then there's another one that, again, I will put this on my ex-wife, because she wanted to watch it, and I was like, okay, and I sat down and watched the first episode, and then got hooked into it, which was Marriage Boot Camp. That was on, I can't remember, I think it was on Oxygen, I believe it was, or something like that. But basically, it was
Marriage Boot Camp.
Okay, there was that show Bridezillas that was okay. It was basically people who had been on that show were now at this. There was these marriage counselors, and I think they were in Texas or something, and so they were bringing in the couples now that they had been married, and they were basically like. It was marriage counseling is what it was. Oh my God, such a train wreck.
Now wait a minute, you got hooked into the show because your ex-wife wanted to sit down and watch it?
Yeah, she wanted to watch it because and then it was one of those things where we started watching.
Maybe this might have been a red flag.
Oh, there were so many red flags in that relationship.
I'm just asking.
I know, but it was so funny because again, it goes back to that whole no matter what's going on here, it's not that bad.
Oh no! Oh no!
And let's be honest, that's why we watch all those shows, is because it makes us feel better about our lives. But that show, man, I think it's still going. I don't know. I barely watch a lot of television any longer, and I never got into any of the. I have friends who are so hooked into all that Real Housewives stuff, and and everything, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't. I won't do that. I won't watch What Happens Live or any of that other crap that's out there. But yeah, those are. I've kind of been interested because they're doing the new seasons of The Real World with like the original casts. Like they did one with the original, like the first season, and they did one with the LA season also, where they brought several of them back. And I'm kind of like,
actually, looking for the original one, and I can't find it anywhere.
They actually did release the first season, the New York season, on DVD at one point, but it's been out of print.
Is it not on a? Is there not? No, I'm talking about the reunion.
Is it not? It's on Paramount. It's on Paramount.
The only one I can find on Paramount is the LA season.
Really?
Where they did the reunion.
Well, that's where Paramount's where the New York reunion happened. Also.
I'll have to see if I can find it because I kind of wanted to watch that one. I
think they have all of the old seasons on there too. If I'm not, I don't have Paramount. That's just what I've heard. But I do know that they're the ones that are doing those reunion seasons. It was going to be interesting. You know what the next one in line is, don't you? San Francisco.
San Francisco.
That's Puck and
see
Judd
if Puck
Winnick
actually shows up.
Judd Winnick and all that. And I was like, man, that talk about. I guarantee you, 20, almost 30 years later, there's still animosity there. I guarantee you. So
is Puck still alive at this point?
As far as I know.
Because he looked like he was barely surviving the first round.
Well, I know, but as of about 10 years ago, I remember seeing him on something, like they were kind of doing a check-in on people that had been on reality shows. But that could be interesting if they do manage to get, especially those two, in the same room together again. And so
see if they still hate each other as much as
sure
they
do. Judd Winnick has always been insufferable. I mean, always.
Yeah.
But he's gotten even worse as he's gotten older. And he's a comic book artist now as well. He's written for DC for years and stuff. And it's the thing is I've never been a huge DC fan, but anytime I would see his name on something, it was like, I am not buying that. I refuse to.
Yeah.
So that's one of those where it's like, hey, you know what I can do without in my life? That. Anything with his name on it. Although I have read, he did a graphic novel called Pedro and Me that was about, Pedro Zamora and, with their friendship. And it was really good. I mean, I really enjoyed reading the book. But it, again, it was one of those like, all right, this is cool. But then whenever I try to read any of his other stuff, I'm like, no, not doing
Yeah.
it. So, okay, I'm down to just a couple of things here. Do you have anything else that
I
that's
can't
come to
think of
mind?
anything
All
off.
right. So basically,
I've
this
actually,
is just Alan talking about his secret shames,
and then me making fun of you for it, which I have.
I know you have enjoyed it. I
enjoyed.
know you have thoroughly enjoyed this. All right, so the last two I have are actually like food related.
How can you have secret shames about
okay,
food?
Look,
maybe I should be ashamed about that. I don't know.
Some of my favorite candy is the stuff that everybody else hates. Okay.
Well, we've already covered this on some of the Halloween episodes.
But it is the peanut butter kisses. I love those things, and nobody else. And let me tell you this: I bought some of them this year because the only place I could find them was at Dollar General. First off, they're about half the size they used to be.
Yeah.
Like they are tiny and they taste like ass. I mean, they were terrible. I mean, just like this is, if they had always tasted like this, I would understand why people hated them, but they didn't. These did not taste right. And I'm just like, no, I'm done with this. And this is, they were terrible. Matter of fact, I wound up throwing a whole bag of them away because they were so bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
And I love those things. And the other thing is now that we're moving towards the dreaded red and white holiday, the little conversation hearts, I love those things. Like I've already eaten.
I do too.
I've already eaten a bag of those. So
I love finding the ones where it's nothing but like insults on them.
Oh, I saw those the other day. Walgreens had them, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Those. And I put those on there because again, those kind of wind up being the things that most people are like, oh, I hate these things. They're so blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, those are like some of my favorite candy. Like I like black licorice. Okay, I know most people can't stand it, but I'm like, no, I kind of
used to like black licorice, but licorice.
Say that again.
1,400 million times really fast.
Mm-hmm.
I used to really like black licorice.
Mm-hmm.
I burned myself out on it.
I get that.
Yeah. And I hate Twizzlers. I hate them.
They don't have any taste. Like they don't. They do not have any taste.
Red Vines, Twizzlers, whatever. I hate them.
I know. And we can do another overrated episode because I have a whole new list from the one that we did 2 years ago.
Oh, I'm sure. We're also coming up towards Easter.
Yes,
and I get made fun of one of my favorite candies during Easter that people just absolutely ridicule me for is Peeps.
Yeah, my son.
I love Peeps.
I like. They come in the little, like, there's like 3 of them, and then there's the one that's like the 6 of them, and then there's the one that's like the 12 or whatever.
Yep.
I cannot do more than 3 of those. They're just too sweet. I mean, there's just so much sugar in them. Just like, no, I can do about 3 of them. But you have not had fun.
You have not had fun until you have skewered one of those and roasted them like a regular marshmallow.
Well, have you ever put one in a microwave?
That's the way to do it.
You ever put one in a microwave?
No, because I don't want to have to clean that.
Well,
nonsense up.
It's funny because they bubble up. So it's really like it's kind of like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man deal, where like all of a sudden they start expanding, and then eventually they do pop. I'll tell you, Peeps are one of those things that my dogs go absolutely nuts for those things.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm absolutely will like do any trick you want them to. For one.
Now, and for me, it's got to be the original yellow Peeps.
Ones,
I don't want any off-color Peeps.
Okay.
I don't want any weird shaped Peeps.
Well, it's one of those things that used to you would only get them at Easter. It was either the chicken. It was either the chicks or it was bunnies. You get either one.
Bunnies, and the chicks are the only ones you want.
Now you get them. You can get them at Halloween. You can get them at Christmas. I think they even make Valentine's ones now. Like little heart shape or something. And I'm like,
nope.
No, those are supposed to be for one time a year. That's kind of like the. I know we talked about it a few episodes back that the little Brock's the peppermint nougat candies.
Oh,
you remember? And
so
I found the ones this last year that it had the regular peppermint, but then it also had spearmint and it had cinnamon. And I know you couldn't get the cinnamon, but I absolutely was like. And what was funny is that if you bought a bag of them, and let's say there was 30 of them in there, okay, 20 of them would be, 15 of them would be peppermint, and then you would probably get 7 or 8 of the other 2 however it pans out type thing. And I'm like, no, I just want a bag of all of the cinnamon or even the peppermint or the spearmint. I was like, the peppermint's great. I love them. Don't get me wrong. But once I found the cinnamon, I was like, oh no, these are amazing. And I had to stop going to the grocery
allergy.
Store. I know you do.
I've got an allergy to cinnamon. I can't do the cinnamon, but if I can find a bag of the spearmint, I would be down.
Absolutely. I would be fine with the spearmint as well. So,
I love the spearmint.
I'm trying to think. Because I know that you and I both probably like restaurants that are just complete trash.
I'm a fat guy.
I mean,
of course, all the restaurants I like are trash.
And I'm not necessarily talking about okay, I'll tell you, I cannot stand IHOP. Okay. That is trash food to me. Okay, I'm just like
IHOP is terrible.
Yeah,
no.
but I know people who are just like, no, IHOP's the best thing ever. I'm like, okay, first off,
no, it's not.
It's not. It's secondly,
okay.
IHOP can't.
I want you to.
IHOP cannot carry Waffle House's water whatsoever. Okay, I mean this.
I want to know how people can say that IHOP is the best thing ever when Denny's exists.
See, I don't like Denny's either. So.
You don't like Denny's?
No. Matter of fact, we don't even have a Denny's around here anymore, do we? I know
I miss it.
Yeah, and now I never was a big fan of
the one we had
Denny's.
out at the airport is now a Mexican restaurant.
That's right, it is, isn't it? Yeah, I never cared for the was it the eggs over my hammy or whatever, or moons over my hammy?
Moons over my hammy?
Yeah, no, none of that stuff. I've
Denny's
never,
is awesome.
Never.
Now, Denny's is way levels below Waffle House.
Oh yeah, everything's levels below Waffle House. Yeah.
My stomach cannot take Waffle House like it used to anymore.
It's because we're both almost 50.
Yeah, I know. I know. When I visit Waffle House, I know I'm going to be in the bathroom for days on end.
I've been trying to do better with my eating here lately, and
me too.
Waffle House is one of those places that you can actually eat pretty clean. I mean, it's. Because you can get...
The problem is, if I go in there, I'm not eating clean. I'm getting what I normally get.
Yeah, and that's... I've had to finally just realize that I can't eat hash browns like I used to. It's like, okay, you're going to have to substitute hash browns for grits or just not get anything at all. And
see, if I go into Waffle House, I'm getting a double quarter cheese plate, double hash brown, scattered, smothered, covered chunk, double dice.
Yeah,
bring it to me right now.
There's
then we're gonna.
There's like 4,000 calories in what you just said.
and we're gonna finish it off with pecan pie. It's got to be heated with butter on the griddle.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no. If I can't, that's the reason I just keep driving right past the Waffle Houses at this point.
So, anyways, now that I have put all of my quote unquote secret shames out there for the world,
but my other food secret shame is it's really hard to drive past the Crystals.
Oh man, the Crystal that was over here next to me closed, and matter of fact, the closest Crystal to me now is I think at Goodlettsville. The one over there, next to Interstate, I think that's the closest one to me now. I know there's one over on Dickerson Road also, over at Dickerson and Trinity Lane. But I'm just like, man, I love crystals. Like, I just heard somebody say something about White Castle, about how White Castle's better. White Castle is a northern piece of crap. White Castle is not better than Crystal. However, I do enjoy White Castle. Okay,
no,
but here's the thing about White Castle and Crystal both. I have barely eaten either of them in the last dozen or so years because I quit drinking. And that's usually when both of those things sound really good.
How bad is it that I eat them without having to be drunk? I like Crystals just the way they are, and their corn pups. Oh, their corn pups. I've never.
The only deviation I ever made out of Crystals was the chicks. Like they had the little chicken sandwiches.
They're not bad.
They're not bad, but they're not good either. Here's the thing with Crystals.
I gotta say this. Okay. I saw a meme the other day where somebody's kid referred to a corn dog as a meat Twinkie,
Yes.
and now I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to think of them as anything but that now. A meat Twinkie. That's perfect.
You remember whenever I gave up red meat for like 6 years, and
yes.
What was funny is that one of the first things, whenever I was like, I think I'm going to start eating red meat again, one of the first things that I had was a Crystal.
Yes.
And I remember,
as it should have been.
I remember taking the bite of that and being like, why did I ever forsake you? It was the best tasting thing.
The steamed buns, onions,
they were hot, and it was that cheese.
I'm craving them right now.
And I was just like, oh, and that I gained so much weight because all of a sudden I was like, give me all the Crystals, all of them, all the time, and just.
Well, back when I could eat whenever I wanted to eat, I could eat whatever I wanted to eat and not have to think about it. I would go by there on my way home from work and pick up a bag of 12 and a large
they were right on the way home from work for you when you worked over there.
The bag would be empty by the time I got to the house.
It's not hard because you can eat one of those in like 2 bites. I mean, it's not.
I
mean, it doesn't take anything.
So good.
You're going to be doing a Crystal run here in a little while, aren't you?
I would have to drive
to Clarksville. Would you have to go to Clarksville? Yeah.
I would have to drive 35 to 40 minutes
here's the thing.
to get to a Crystal's.
You talked about White Castle because we're talking about trash food.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big I will eat a White Castle. I think that they're okay, but they're not nearly as good as Crystals. Okay.
I'll drive 400 miles past a White Castle to get to a Crystal.
Here's the thing. If I am going to Metropolis, Illinois, to go to the casino, I will stop at Clarksville every time at that White Castle right there on Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Okay, and there's a reason why. Because like 15 years ago or more, me and Rob and a couple other people, we stopped there. We were on the way up. It was a Saturday night. We were on the way to Metropolis, and we stopped in there, and we stopped in. We're actually like eating inside rather than going through the drive-through, and for whatever reason, they were just playing techno music the entire time we were in there. And so we deemed it the Techno White Castle. So every time that we would go through there, we would always stop. And sure enough, they were playing techno music on Saturday nights. we were always like, oh, we got to stop at the Techno White Castle. I mean, that's... So it was more for the experience of that than it was for the actual food.
Knowing that it's Saturday, I'm half tempted to drive to Clarksville tonight and just walk in to see if they're playing techno or not.
A long time since I was up that way and actually stopped in there on a Saturday night, so I don't know what they're playing inside there any longer, but that will forever be the Techno White Castle. So
if I ever do it though, I'm stopping by Crystals and picking up Crystals to go and going in the White Castle.
Just taking them in. It's like, but you're right. There's no comparison to the two. They are two completely separate things. It's kind of like whenever you would go into a restaurant and somebody would be like, you'd be like, hey, do you have a root beer? And they're like, no, we got Dr. Pepper. It's like, that's not the same thing. Like, that's not the same thing. That's nowhere near the same thing. That's no, don't even give me that. So it's and I'm not drawing which one's better. I'm just saying that no, those are two completely separate things. Don't try to tell me that they're not. And
they're not even in the same flavor family.
No, not in the slightest. It's what is it? Dr. Pepper's got prune juice in it, I think, or something like that. Like that's
something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what gives it its flavor. It's just not like a ton of it, but it's just enough. Biscuit, stop. And it's the dog next door is barking, so he's all like, "Oh, I got to go outside and see what's going on."
Well, you probably heard Snoopy in the background barking
a
bunch of times.
The dog next door, I can hear him. I heard Snoopy a little bit in there, but so that's our love of trash cinema and
well, your love of trash cinema,
yeah,
my
love of
trash food,
cinema and music and television.
Once you got to the food, you'd be able to draw the fat guy in.
There you go. We hadn't even really talked about any specific foods that you will eat that nobody else will. I've had eggs and brains before, and it's like, it's all right. It's not something that
I've
I would
had
like
it.
eat. I know it's kind of one of those
it's
things.
One of those things that I did it once just to say I did it.
I did it not knowing what it was, and then it was kind of like, actually, this is really good. But I don't think that I would ever go in and like order it. It was just kind of one of those. It was like, oh, it's there. Okay, awesome. Okay,
Yeah. I can't think of anything weird that I eat that nobody else will touch.
The same here. I mean, just my grandfather used to eat like potted meat. That stuff was nasty. I just, oh my God, it's so nasty. Or Vienna.
I eat a lot of
my dad.
I like eating a lot of wild game.
Yeah, well, that's not. But that's because it's wild.
You'd be amazed at the amount of people that won't eat wild game. They won't do deer, or squirrel, or anything like that.
You're dumb if you don't, because especially venison. Oh my God, venison's some good eating.
Well, wild game is the original organic meat.
Exactly.
I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Like my dad, for whatever reason, loves Vienna sausages. I will never understand that. I will never.
Really? Those are good.
Oh no, I will never understand anyone that eats anchovies. Like that will like.
Occasionally, I'll get them on a pizza.
I will never understand anybody that eats oysters. No.
Dude, you do it and do it right.
No,
they're good.
No. Anytime someone says no, you have to do it right. No, you're doing it wrong. If it takes a lot of effort for me to make something taste good, it doesn't taste good. Okay,
it doesn't take a lot of effort to make an oyster taste good.
Yeah,
it really doesn't.
No, I'm done.
It's like for years I wouldn't eat sushi because it was raw fish, and I was
not
wrong.
But it's not raw fish. That's the whole thing.
No.
It's like
yeah,
there are some sushi that has raw fish. Well, quote unquote raw fish, but it's boiled. It's not cooked.
Well, no, or it's smoked or it's steamed.
Exactly. But it's one of those things where it's
so
not
good.
It is. It's so delicious, and I could like make myself sick on that stuff. I mean, just eating it. And I always do. That's one of the reasons I don't go to sushi much anymore, because I always wind up eating too much when I'm there.
Yeah.
Like I always order too much, and then I always eat it, because you can't take it home, because sushi is not good as a leftover whatsoever.
No,
it is not.
It
is. If you don't eat it right, then you just throw it away, and that's it. And so I don't. I know one of the things that I get at sushi that I really like. It really turns a lot of other people off, though, especially when they see it come to the table, is the taco salad. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's the baby octopus.
I don't think so.
It's the baby octopus.
Oh, I've seen
where
that,
it's a whole bunch. Like literally, they bring you a bowl full of baby, like they're not alive, but they're little bitty octopus that have been cooked. And they got a sauce on them or whatever, and people are just like, like, oh my God, I can't believe you're, just like, hey, it tastes good to me. I don't know what you're talking about. So.
Yeah. Personally, I like my calamari fried, but
calamari
that's
a little different though. That's just the tentacle is all it is. So
yeah.
Anyway, now that we've talked about that and all, and we wound up getting an hour and some change out of this. So.
Well, this has been fun making fun of you for a little over an hour.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, go and check us out at. You can go to our Instagram and our Discord. We have links in the show notes, and let us know what.
Oh, look. I'm logged into Discord right now.
There you go. Let us know what your favorite trash whatever is. I mean, it's given some. If I'd given myself more time, even I could have probably come up with a really long list of trash cinema that I love. Just really, oh no, this is terrible stuff that that I will sit and watch every time. So.
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys, thank you so much. I am Alan Smith.
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And we'll see you next time.
Have a good one, y'all. See ya.